Hello friends, I welcome each one of you in this 11th video wherein we are doing the circular series. So 11th video is going to be recorded now and we will be covering circular number 51 to circular number 55 in this. And I have received a request wherein circular number 38 and circular number 41 is asked I'm requested to please record that as soon as possible. So I commit that within next 1 or 2 days I will be recording circular number 38 and circular number 41. So let me start with circular number 51, which is to be discussed in this particular video number 11. It is dated 31st July 2018, and the circular is with regarding the applicability of GST on the ambulance services which are provided to government by the private sector providers under the National Health Mission. So what will be the status that is being answered in this question and in the circular. So here the attention has been drawn to the service tax circular number 210 of 30th May 2018, and the said circular was in the context of service tax exemption notification, which was 25/2012, and the serial number 25 clause A. The circular states that the service of transportation in ambulance provided by the state government and the private sector providers to patients are exempt under notification number so and so, and that the ambulance service provided by private service providers to the state government under the National Health Mission is a service provided to government by way of public health, and hence exempted under 25/2012. So that is the status in service tax. Now what is the status in GST? Let us look into that. So what they are saying is that there is a notification 25/2000 in service tax, whereas the notification is 12/2017 in GST, and the serial number 3 and 3A, and they are specifying this. So let us see the table. Serial number 2, healthcare services by clinical establishment, authorized medical practitioner on paramedics, then services provided by way of transportation of a patient in an ambulance other than those in one above. So they have specifically provided that. And now serial number 74, they are saying services by way of healthcare services by clinical establishment and authorized medical practitioner or paramedics, and services provided by way of transportation of passengers in an ambulance. So it is same. Then 25A of the earlier regime, it was services provided to government, a local authority or a government authority by way of water supply, public health, sanitation, conservancy, solid waste management, or slum improvement and upgradation. So that was exempted. Now in GST, they are saying serial number 3, they are saying pure services, excluding the works contract service or other composite supplies involving the supply of any goods provided to central government, state government, or union territory, or local authority, or a government entity by way of an activity in relation to any function entrusted to a panchayat under Article 243G of the Constitution, or in relation to any function entrusted to a municipality under Article 243W of the Constitution. And plus there is a serial number 3A which says composite supply of goods and services in which the value of supply of goods constitutes not more than 25% of the value of the said composite. तो 25% ज़्यादा goods का value ना हो, ऐसी composite supplies भी included है, which is provided to the government, state government, or union territory, or local authority, or a government authority or a government entity by way of any activity in relation to any function which is entrusted to a panchayat under Article 243G or municipality under Article 243W. So they have included in serial number 3 and 3A, which was included in serial number 25A of the 25/2017. Moving further, friends. So what they are saying is, they are saying functions of health and sanitation is entrusted to panchayat under article this and this, with read with 11 schedule. Function of the public health is entrusted to municipalities under article 243W of the Constitution, read with 12th schedule of the Constitution. The ambulance services are an activity in relation to functions entrusted to panchayat and municipalities under the 243G and 243W of the Constitution. In view of the above, it is clarified that the clarification contained in circular number 210 of 2018 in service tax of 30th May 2018 with respect to services provided by government and private service providers by way of transportation of passengers in an ambulance is applicable for the purpose of GST also, as the said services are specifically exempt under notification number 12/2017 white serial number 74. So they are clarifying that this is also exempt in GST. Further, they are saying as regards to the service provided by the private service providers to the state government by way of transportation of passengers on behalf of the state government against consideration in the form of fees or otherwise charged from the state government, is clarified that the same would be exempt under serial number 3 if it is a pure service and not a composite supply, and under serial number 3A if it is a composite supply and the value of goods does not exceed 25% of the total value of composite supply. So friends, this is what is being clarified here for the ambulance services or transportation services under GST regime. So it is perimeter area with the taxability and the exemption under service tax. So moving to serial number to circular number 52. Circular number 52 is dealing with some of the clarifications which are related to the GST applicability on various goods and services. So these are the representations have been asked and sent. The circular dated 9th August 2018, and the following are the items for which the clarification is seeking that what is the applicability of GST: toned milk, refined wheat, and cane sugar, all those items. So the matter has been examined, and then they are issuing the clarification. So GST on fortified toned milk, they are saying representation have been received seeking clarification, and now we are clarifying. They are saying milk is classified under 0401 as per serial number 25 of 2/2017. Fresh milk and pasteurized milk, including the separated milk, milk and cream, not concentrated, not containing in added sugar or other sweetening matter, excluding ultra high temperature milk falling under tariff heading 0401, attracts nil rate of GST. Further, as per the HSN explanatory notes, milk enriched with vitamins and minerals is classified under HSN 0401. Thus, it is clarified that toned milk fortified with vitamins A and D attract nil rate of GST, and the HSN will be 0401. So this is clarified. Toned milk will be exempt and it will be classified under 401, 0401 classification. Applicability of GST rate on refined wheat and cane sugar. So doubt have been raised in this case also, and serial number 91 of Schedule 1 to Notification 1/2017 says 5% of the rate has been prescribed for all kind of wheat and cane sugar falling under 1701. The doubt has arisen because serial number 32A of the Schedule 2 of the Notification 1/2017, which prescribes 12% rate on all goods falling under 170191 and 170199, including refined sugar containing added flavoring or coloring matter, sugar cubes other than those which attract 5% on nil GST. तो इसकी वजह से जो 32A सीरियल नंबर है उसकी वजह से डाउट अराइज हुआ, for which they are seeking the clarification. So now it is being clarified here that by virtue of specific exclusion in serial number 32A, any sugar that falls under the category of 5% at the said serial number 91 of the Schedule 1 of 1/2017 gets excluded from 32A of Schedule 2, as all kinds of wheat and sugarcane falling under 1701 are covered by the said entry, that is serial number 91 of Schedule 1, and therefore will attract 5%. Accordingly, it is clarified that wheat and cane sugar, including the refined wheat and cane sugar, both will fall under the headings 1701 and attract the 5% rate. Next is applicability or the applicable GST rate on modified tamarind kernel powder and plain tamarind kernel powder. So representation इसमें भी आए, and there are two grades. One is plain and the other is chemically treated. So जो plain unmodified form रहता है hot water soluble या फिर जो chemically treated रहता है, उन दोनों में जो confusions है उसकी वजह से ये clarification मांगा है. They are saying as per serial number 36A of Schedule 1/2017, 5% is the rate which is prescribed for tamarind kernel powder falling under chapter 13. Lekin there have been certain doubts which have been expressed. GST on tamarind kernel powder, as the said notification does not specifically mention the word modified. So they are now clarifying that as both unmodified and modified tamarind kernel powder fall under chapter 13, it is hereby clarified that both will attract 5% rate. Further, next issue is applicability of GST on supply of safe drinking water for public purpose. Now, in this case also, there were various representations which were received, and they have clarified that entry number 99 of 2017, it says that water other than aerated, mineral, purified, distilled, medicinal, ionic, battery, demineralized, and water sold in sealed container. इनको छोड़ के जो 2201 में आते हैं, बाकी वाटर जो है वो पूरा का पूरा exempt रहेगा. So the entire water is exempt provided they are not falling into this aerated, mineral, purified, distilled, and all those things. Accordingly, supply of water other than those excluded from serial number 99 of notification number so and so would attract nil rate of GST. Therefore, it is clarified that supply of drinking water for public purposes, it is not supplied in a sealed container, is exempt from GST, which is not supplied in the sealed container. अगर sealed container में प्योर वाटर भी आप सप्लाई करोगे तो उसके ऊपर भी जीएसटी का इम्पैक्ट है. Now GST rate on human food plasma. So in this case also again the references have been received कि इस पे क्या GST rate लगेगा. तो plasma is the clear straw colored liquid portion of the blood that remains after red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and other cellular components have been removed. As per the explanatory notes to the HSN, plasma will fall under the description antisra and other blood fractions, whether or not modified or obtained by the means of biotechnological process, and would fall under HSN code 3002. And then natural normal human plasma is specifically mentioned in serial number 186 of list 1 of under serial number 180 of schedule 1 of the notification number 1/2017, and therefore attracts 5% rate, and other items which are falling under 3002 including plasma products would attract 12% under serial number 61 of schedule 2 of the said notification, not specifically covered in said list 1. Therefore, harmonious reading अगर दोनों entries का करें तो it would mean that normal human plasma would attract 5%, whereas plasma products would attract 12% GST rate if otherwise not specifically covered in the said list. Next is appropriate classification of body wipes, facial tissues and other similar products. So again यहाँ पे भी issues थे, तो काफ़ी references मिले कि ये जो products है currently इसको classify कर रहे हैं 3307, 3401 and 5603 में industry के द्वारा. So what is the exact status? So now they are clarifying that commercially wipes are categorized into various types such as baby, facial, disinfectant, makeup remover wipes, etc. These products are generally made by the using non-woven fabrics of viscose and polyviscose blend and are sprinkled with demineralized water and various chemicals and fragrances which impart the essential character of the product. The base raw material are most moisturizing and the cleansing agents, preservatives, aqua base, cooling agents, perfumes, etc. The textile material is present at as a carrying medium of these cleaning or wiping components. So now what they are saying is they are saying that apply the general rules of interpretation of the first schedule to the Customs Tariff Act, and which says mixture composite goods consisting of different materials are made up of different components, and goods put up in set of retail sale which cannot be classified by reference to 3A shall be classified as if consisted of the material or component which gives them their essential character in so far as criterion is applicable. Since primary function of the article should be taken into consideration while deciding the classification, it is clear that the essential character of the wipes in the instant case is imparted by the components which are to be mixed with the textile material. As per the explanatory notes to the HSN, the HS code 5603 clearly excludes non-women, impregnated, coated or covered with substances or preparations such as perfumes or cosmetics, soaps or detergents, polishes, creams or similar preparations. The HSN is reproduced as below. The heading excludes. These things are excluded. So I'm not reading this. Further एक explanatory note दिया HSN का 3307 में wedding felt or non-women impregnated, coated or covered with perfumes or cosmetics. Similarly, as per explanatory note to HSN 3401 also, It includes wipes made of paper, wedding, felt, non-women's, impregnated, coated or covered with soap or detergent, whether or not perfumed. So they have clarified the various headings which are provided for HSN. And now what they are saying is, they are saying, therefore, the wipes of different kinds, as stated above, are classifiable under 3307 or 33 or 3401, depending upon their constituents as discussed above. Therefore, if the baby wipes are impregnated with perfumes or cosmetics, then the same would fall under 3307 and would attract 18%. Similarly, if they are coated with soap or detergent, then it would be classified under 3401 and would attract 18% rate. So this is how they have classified and clarified things. Next is, what is the applicability of the rate on Zari Kasab, Zari thread? So there were various doubts that 5605 जो है वो 12% लगाता है, एंट्री 137 शेड्यूल 2 का, और जो स्पेसिफाइड एम्ब्रॉयडरी प्रोडक्ट है जो 5809 5810 में आता है, दैट इज 5% एज पर एंट्री नंबर 220 ऑफ शेड्यूल 1. So what is the exact position? The heading 5809 and 5810 cover embroidery and zari articles. These headings do not cover yarn of any kinds. They are not covering yarn or thread of any kind. Hence, while these headings apply to embroidery articles, embroidery in piece, in strips or in motif, they do not apply to yarn including the kasab yarn. And therefore, further, all types of metallic yarns, metallized yarns or threads are classifiable under the heading 5605. Kasab yarn also fall within this heading. So under heading 5605, real zari manufactured with silver wire, kimped or cord yarn, namely pure silk and cotton, and finally gilded with gold, would attract 5% as specified in 218A of Schedule 1 of the GST rate schedule. Other goods belonging under the heading attract 12%. इसके अलावा दूसरे जो गुड्स होंगे वो 12% में रहेगा. Accordingly, Kasab yarn would attract 12%. GST along with other metallized yarn, whether or not being the textile yarn combined with metal in the form of thread, strip or powder, are covered with the metal, including imitation zari thread. Therefore, it is clarified that imitation zari thread or yarn known as kasab or by other name in trade parlance would attract uniform rate of 12%. Again, they are asking for the applicability of GST on marine engine. So they are clarifying that fishing vessels are classifiable under 8902 and attract 5%. Serial number is 247 of Schedule 1 of the Notification 1/2017. उसके अलावा they are saying 8902 is also for the part of goods which are falling under any chapter, also attract 5% in case of serial number 252 of Schedule 1 of the said notification. So marine engine for fishing vessel falling under tariff 84081093 of the custom tariff would attract GST rate of 5% by virtue of 252 of Schedule 1. This is the serial number 252 serial number पे Schedule 1 notification number 1 of 2017. So therefore, it is being clarified that the marine engine for fishing vessel, the tariff will be 84081093 and 5% will be the rate which will be applicable. Now cotton quilts के बारे में है कि उसका 9404 में जो है वो क्लासिफिकेशन का है और क्या रेट लगेगा. So they are under 9404 and they are attracting 5% if the sale value of cotton quilt does not exceed 1000 rupees. अगर वो exceed करेगा तो it will be 12%. Now there were certain doubts which were raised that whether a quilt filled with cotton with cover of cotton, or filled with cotton but cover made of some material, or filled with material other than cotton. So matter has been examined and the essential character of common cotton quilt is imparted by the filling material. Therefore, the quilt filled with cotton constitutes a cotton quilt, irrespective of whether the cover of the quilt is of some other material. Therefore, the rate will apply where the quarter is filled. बस बॉडी बिल्डिंग एक्टिविटी जीएसटी रेट. नाउ वेरियस रिप्रेजेंटेशंस कि इस पे जो जॉब चार्जेस हैं या जॉब सर्विस है 18% लगेगा या फिर वो 28% लगेगा या व्हाट इज द रेट. सो दे आर सेइंग buses, motor vehicles for transport of 10 or more persons including the driver. fall under the heading 8702 and attract 28%. Now further, chassis fitted with engines 8705 and whole bodies for buses 8707 again will attract 28%. In this context, it is mentioned that services of bus bodybuilding of job work basis attract 18% GST on such service. Therefore, fabrication of buses may involve the following two situations. One, the bus bodybuilder builds a bus working on the chassis owned by him and supplies the built up bus to the customer and charges the customer for the value of the bus. दूसरा, जहाँ बस बॉडी बिल्डर जो है वो चेसेस बनाता है, builds body on chassis provided by the principal for body building and charges fabrication charges. So these are the two situations, जहाँ पे वो खुद बनाता है और उसको सप्लाई कर देता है, और दूसरा जहाँ पे वो खुद वो मटेरियल सप्लाई करता है और वो बनाता है. So in the above context, it is hereby clarified that in para 12(2)(a), that is the first situation, the supply made is that of bus and accordingly supply would attract 28%. And in the second paragraph, second situation wherein he is only doing the fabrication part, in that case it will be the supply of service job work and therefore 18% will be applicable. What is the GST rate of disc brake pad? So again इसमें भी representations काफी मिले. 8708 चैप्टर 68 में है या 8708 में फॉलो करेगा. 68 में 18% लगता है और 8708 में 28% लगता है. So part and accessories of motor vehicle of headings 8701 to 8705 are classified in 8708 and attract 28%. So therefore friction material and articles thereof not mounted for brakes, for clutches or the like, with the basis of asbestos, of other mineral substances or of cellulose, whether or not combined with textiles or other mineral substances or of cellulose, whether or not combined with textiles or other materials, are classifiable under 6813 and will attract 18%. So now what they are saying that I'm just reading 13.4. They are saying it is clear in view of the HSN explanatory notes that the said goods, namely disc brake pads for automobiles, are appropriately classified under 8708 and therefore 28% will be the rate which is going to be applicable in this case. So friends, this was circular number 52/2018, 9th August 2018 का circular था, and it was explaining the GST rate and the applicability of GST in certain cases. Moving to 53/2018. Friends, 53/2018 is the circular which is issued again on 9th August 2018, and it is clarifying the applicability of GST on the petroleum gases which are retained for the manufacture of petrochemical and the chemical products. So in this context, it may be recalled for clarification 12/2017 में clarify किया था, फिर 29/2018 में भी clarify किया था. These circulars will apply mutatis mutandis to other cases involving same manner of supply as mentioned in these circulars. So however, references have again been received for some of the manufacturers of other petrochemical and chemical products for issue of clarification on applicability of GST on petroleum gases which are supplied by oil refineries to them on a continuous basis through dedicated pipelines, while a portion of the raw material is retained by these manufacturers and the remaining quantity is returned to the oil refineries. तो इसमें पहले भी इन्होंने क्लैरिफाई किया था कि जितना आप रिटेन करोगे उसी पे टैक्स लगेगा, और फिर जब रिफाइनरी फर्दर सेल करेगी तो उस पे टैक्स लगेगा. इन दिस रिगार्ड issue has arisen as to whether in this transaction GST would be level on the whole quantity of the principal raw material supplied by the oil refinery or on the net quantity which is retained by the manufacturer. So 28 GST Council जो 21 जुलाई 2018 को हुआ, ये सारा इशू वहाँ पे डिस्कस हुआ था, and therefore they have clarified that GST will be payable by the refinery on the value of net quantity of petroleum products retained by the manufacturer for petrochemical and the chemical products. Further, it is being clarified that केवल उसी पे लगेगा which is being retained by the manufacturer, and the refinery will be liable to pay GST on such retained quantity on petroleum gas when the same is supplied by it to the another person. तो जब दूसरे को बेचा जाएगा तब उसके ऊपर लगेगा, otherwise नहीं लगेगा. That is what is provided in earlier circulars 12 and 29 also, and in this circular also they are reiterating the facts. So 9th August 2018 का circular है 53/2018. Moving to 54/2018 friends. 54/2018 जो सर्कुलर है, it there is some issue. It is again 9th August 2018, and now they are classification का issue जो clarify कर रहे हैं fertilizers का, which is supplied for use in the manufacture of other fertilizers. एक fertilizer का जो आप supply कर रहे हो दूसरे fertilizers की manufacturing में, they are clarifying this. So the clarification which was sought was whether the simple fertilizers such as MOP classified in chapter 31 and supplied for use in manufacturing of a complex fertilizers are entitled to the concessional rate of 5% as applicable in general fertilizers. That is the issue. Now they are saying that it has been examined, and the fertilizers are mostly used in increasing soil and land fertility, either directly or by use of some manufacturing of complex fertilizers. So however, certain fertilizers and similar goods falling under this chapter may be used for individual purposes like use of molten area for manufacture of melamine and urea used in manufacturing of urea, formaldehyde, resins or organic synthesis. प्री जीएसटी रिजीम में कंसेशनल ड्यूटी रेट जो था प्रिस्क्राइब था फर्टिलाइजर्स फॉलोइंग इन चैप्टर 31. This concessional rate was applied to goods falling under chapter 31, which was clearly to be used directly as fertilizers or in manufacture of other fertilizers, whether directly or through the stage of an intermediate product. So under the GST regime also, this similar kind of effect has to be there. So what they are clarifying is, they are clarifying that the tax structure on fertilizers have been prescribed on the lines of pre-GST tax incidence. The wording of the GST notification is similar to the central excise notification, except certain changes to meet the requirements of GST. Now these changes were necessitated as the GST is applicable on the supply of goods, while central excise was applicable on the manufacture of goods. Accordingly, fertilizers falling under 3102, 3103, 3104 and 3105, other than those which are clearly not to be used as fertilizers, will attract 5%. However, the fertilizers items falling under the above mentioned headings, which are clearly not to be used as fertilizer, attract 18%. So that is what they have said. The intention has been to provide concessional rate of GST to fertilizers which are used directly as fertilizers or which are used in the manufacturing of complex fertilizers which are further used as soil or crop fertilizers. The phrase other than clearly to be used as fertilizers would not cover such fertilizers that are used for making complex fertilizers for use as soil or crop fertilizer. Therefore, it is clarified that the fertilizers supplied for direct use as fertilizers or supplied for use in the manufacturing of other complex fertilizers for agricultural use, soil or crop fertilizers will attract 5% IGST. So this will be the rate will be 5% and not 18% in this case. And moving to 55/2018, friends. This again specifies and clarifies the applicability of GST on certain issues on certain services. So it says taxability of services provided by industrial training institutes. 10th August 2018 is the date of 55/2018 circular. They have received the representation wherein the request was to clarify the following. One, whether GST is payable on vocational training provided by private ITI in designated trades or in other than designated trades. Second, whether GST is payable on the service provided by the private industrial training institute for conduct of examination under consideration in the form of entrance fee and also on the services related to admission to or conduct of the examination. So this is the clarification they are asking for. So with regards to first, it is clarified that private ITI qualifies as an educational institution as defined in para 2 clause Y of the notification number 12/2017 if the education is provided by these ITI is approved as a vocational educational course. Therefore, the approved vocational educational course has been defined in para 2 clause H of the notification. IBIT to mean a course run by an ITI or an industrial training center affiliated to National Council for Vocational Training, offering courses in designated trade notified under the Apprenticeship Act 1961 or a modular employable skill course approved by NCVT run by a person registered with DG training in Ministry of Skill Development, and therefore services provided by private ITI in respect of designated trades notified under the Apprenticeship Act are exempt from GST under serial number 66 of notification number 12/2017. As corollary, services provided by a private ITI in respect of other designated trades would be liable to GST and are not exempt. So this they have clarified कि जो डेजिग्नेटेड ट्रेड रहेगा अप्रेंटिसशिप एक्ट में उसका एग्जाम्प्ट रहेगा, जो डेजिग्नेटेड नहीं है उसका एग्जाम्प्ट नहीं रहेगा। नेक्स्ट जो 1B का जो क्वेश्चन था जहाँ पे वो कंडक्ट ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन के लिए फीस लेते थे या फिर वो एंट्रेंस या एडमिशन देने के लिए लेते थे। सो इट इज क्लैरिफाइड दैट डेजिग्नेटेड ट्रेड्स सर्विसेज प्रोवाइडेड बाय प्राइवेट ITI by way of conduct of entrance examination against consideration in the form of entrance fee will also be exempt. Entry AA under serial number 66 of 12 by 2017. Further, in respect of such designated trades, services provided to an educational institution by way of services relating to admission to or conduct of examination by private ITI shall also be exempt. That is entry number B4, clause 4 of serial number 66. Now further it is satisfied that in case of other designated trades in private ITI, GST shall be payable on the service of the conduct of examination against consideration in the form of fees, and also on the services relating to admission to or conduct of the examination by such institutions as these services are not covered by the exemption I bid, and therefore they are very categorically classified. And दोनों क्वेश्चन का एक ही स्पेसिफिक आंसर अगर आप समझें तो ये है कि जहाँ पे भी वो ट्रेडेड है और वो अप्रूव्ड एक्टिविटीज में इन्वॉल्व है उन सब में एग्जाम्पशंस है, और जहाँ पे वो अप्रूव्ड में नहीं है वहाँ पे एग्जाम्पशंस नहीं है। सो फ्रेंड दिस वाज 55/2017 2018. So we have completed this circular series, like video number 11 of circular series, and we'll be coming out with this video number 12, wherein we'll be covering circular number 56 to circular number 60. And I will also try that within a day or two we'll complete the circular number 38 and circular number 41. I'm really thankful to each one of you for giving me the patience hearing. I'm indeed grateful that you have made this entire series very successful and are watching these videos with great enthusiasm and interest. I'm really thankful to each one of you. Thanks once again.